Hey everyone, Diavolo here, and welcome to my review for chapter 209 of Tokyo Revengers. If you guys are new around here and want to keep up to date with the latest chapter reviews for not only Tokyo Revengers, but also Jujutsu Kaisen, One Punch Man, and One Piece, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and also leave a like on the video if you do enjoy my content, as it really helps out with the algorithm. But enough of that, let's get into this chapter. So 209 is called Get a Grip, and starts off where we've been in the last two chapters with Takamichi again inside the high school with Chifuyu, discussing things pretty much, with Mikey and how he's going to do things. Chifuyu says, don't just blurt out random things all of a sudden, Takamichi. What if someone overhears him, you know what I mean? Like, it could result in more shit happening that he doesn't need to happen. It's just easier if those two know, and I think Shifuyu's realized that no one else really needs to know about it here. He's pretty much told Takamichi, to keep himself out of the limelight, stop blurting things out in public to people that could result in things going wrong for them now. Chifuyu then recommends, he's like, why don't we have a reunion with the boys, get the gangs together. Since Toman is no more, we need some strength to go against Mikey's Kanto Martian gang, on which Takamichi's like, I see, and that makes sense. This is something that I thought might have happened, or have been kind of expecting to happen over these last few chapters. I've been waiting for them to reunite with everyone. So, but before they get to that, Hakai then shows up looking like Baji, man, every day looking more and more like Baji. This man's amazing. Takamichi realizes, oh, it's Hakai, and he can't act like I guess he did 2 years ago when everyone knew, or most people knew, about his predicament. He needs to just kind of act chill and try and play the part that he hasn't time leapt back to this point in his timeline, so he doesn't freak out anyone, and realize that something bad's gone on in the future. This is evidence once he gets to Peh-yan and Peh-yan and Mitsuya, because we're finally introduced to Peh-yan again, who's probably been out of jail for about a year now, and he's like, long time no see, Takamichi. And Takamichi's like, wait, who the hell are you? Realizing that he's a completely changed man, wearing this suit, looking like a completely different dude. The only thing that kind of resembles Pah-chin to Takamichi is probably the cut on his face. But Takamichi's obviously his reactive self didn't listen to what Chifuyu had just said, and he's like, hold on, did you just get released from juvie? Which throws Mitsuya into the mix, and he's like, what are you making, some kind of joke, Takamichi? That's old news. Because obviously now Pa has been out of jail for about a year, and Takamichi just coming back, pretty much only really meeting him for the first time. If you think about it, he was arrested and put in juvie before Takamichi really even became a core part of Toman. So he hardly does know Pa. So yeah, this kind of does make sense that he is surprised to see him, but then again, it has been a year and he needs to stop with the entire over surprise thing to stop people from freaking out if they figure things out. But pretty much they have a conversation with Pah-chin and Peh-yan. Takamichi comes to the realization that this is their future now, and these guys in the future end up starting a real estate company, and he can see their future, slowly starting to come into fruition, even now, 10 years in the past, with them doing this thing where they search for hotel rooms for specific people for specific prices, kind of like some of the apps Trivago, I guess, for plane prices, looking for the best prices, and I would say that's probably something that these two guys are doing as well. Yeah, and Chifuyu says to him, he's like, if these guys are on our side, we'll have some incredible strength. But Takamichi's like, yeah, you're not wrong, but let's not do that. Because it goes back to that whole idea of he wants these guys now to live their best life, you know what I mean? He doesn't want them to be caught up inside of this gang stuff anymore. He wants them to keep moving forward, and do the things that they've got to do in life so that they succeed. It says later in the chapter, but this was also Mikey's wish as well, that these guys would all be doing well in the future. So in this timeline, technically it's Mikey's wish at the moment that these guys are all off happy, and Mikey's growing and doing his own thing. Takamichi explains, just kind of like I have now, to Chifuyu why he didn't tell them about his plan. And he's like, I can't help it. They're a bunch of really hardworking people. They got plans ahead. There's no way I can invite them. And while Takamichi's explaining this, Chifuyu gets a text notification on his phone, and he's like, oh shit, I've got to go, I'm sorry Takamichi, I've got to go to his part-time job. And which Takamichi realizes is that even Shifuyu's part of this group of people who are moving forward. Chifuyu in 10 years time is the owner of his own pet shop, and at the moment he's currently working part-time in a pet shop as a young Chifuyu. He's like, I see there's no way they'll get themselves involved in fights. It's not like how it was in middle school. Chifuyu has a dream. Mitsuya-kun has a dream. Pah-chin and Peh-yan have a dream. Hakai, everyone in Toman has their own personal goals. And then that's when Takamichi remembers something that Mikey said, everyone in Toman, also Hina, I swear to protect all of you. Takamichi realizes that this is the future that Mikey has sworn to protect. He's like, I can't let them get involved in this and end up stuffing up their own lives. So this here, to me, goes back to, so last chapter, it really felt like Hina had almost foreshadowed her own death, but this here kind of gives me foreclosure on pretty much everyone from the main group of people. I'm not too sure about Draken yet because we haven't seen him in the chapter, but everyone surviving, you know, at the moment, including Chifuyu. I'm not even sure now if Chifuyu is going to be a part of this main arc, or if Takamichi is going to do it on his own, like he says here. Because once he does stick his mind to something, he usually ends up doing it, as we've seen with him becoming, you know, like first division captain of Toman, or, you know, becoming the leader of the Black Dragons. When he sticks his mind to something, he ends up succeeding. So I feel like he's probably going to get his own group of people that we have no idea about, and I think that this group of people is also going to include Draken, as because in the last panel we get a phone call. We see Takamichi's phone ringing with Ryuguji-ken on the phone screen, which obviously is Draken's name. Takamichi picks up immediately and hears Draken say, "Takamichi, are you free to come by for a bit?" In which the last thing that Takamichi said in the chapter is, "Huh." Obviously he's going to cruise by Draken's house and they're going to meet up in the new chapter. Sadly, we didn't get to see him this chapter, so that sucks, but I really want to see what he looks like now. I'm assuming that his hair is probably completely different, like I would say. So in the future he owns a motorcycle club, so I'm wondering if he's doing like some kind of mechanics course right now, or I'm wondering maybe if he's still messed up, you know, trying to figure out what the hell to do now that Mikey's kind of disappeared from everything. I'm not really too sure. I don't know where it's going to go with Draken, but you know, I'm in for the entire ride. It wasn't the worst chapter, it wasn't the best chapter, it was pretty plain, you know, it's still building up and it's still adding in things that we need to know for this up and coming arc. So like I can assume now that pretty much the majority of Toman isn't going to be a part of this arc. Maybe they'll be seen around, but I don't see them really being involved. I feel like Takamichi's going to have to grow a new group of people, maybe with the help of Draken or something, which then again that could make this arc last so much longer, and this 50 or 60 chapters that we're expecting could end up being 100 if he's having to look for more people, you know what I mean, and start his own new gang. I could see that kind of being a possibility. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'll probably give this chapter like a good solid 8 out of 10, as it leaves us with a bit of like theorizing on where things could go next week, and I know, I always like to do that, so yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. But if you guys are new around here and want to keep up to date with the latest Tokyo Revengers, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Punch Man, and One Piece chapter reviews, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like down below, as it really helps out with the algorithm. Also, drop a comment in the comment section with what you guys thought about this chapter, as I'd love to know, and where you guys think the chapters are headed in the next coming weeks. But for now, it's been your professional degenerate, Diavolo, and I'll see you all in a bit. Bye.